Mr. Transformers 96 here from the video review. This time we have another Transformers Studio Series figure. It's the Deluxe Shatter from Bumblebee. So I'm very excited to get this one. I've been looking forward to this one for quite a while. Really enjoying the Studio Series, and I'm glad we're starting to see some of the newer waves start to hit retail. I found this at 2 stores now. I bought it yesterday, and I found it at both Target and Walmart, both of which had Cogman, who was a part of this series. However, neither of which had scrap metal, which is disappointing. And I'm surprised because at Target they just had one Shatter, one Cogman, but at Walmart they had 2 of both Shatter and Cogman. So I don't know why I didn't get a scrap metal, because he should be in the same assortment. I just think it's weird that Target and Walmart would have all of them except for scrap metal. And it wasn't like they were bare minimum on Shatter or Cogman either. So it's weird, but I do plan to get scrap metal as soon as I can find them, or at least get them at a retail price. But yeah, very excited to get Shatter here. This is a much better figure than Dropkick was, let me tell you. It's still not perfect though, and there's a lot of just easy things that I just don't understand why they got wrong. Similar to Dropkick, just not as bad though. This is certainly a much better figure than the Dropkick that they originally did. However, it's still, you know, flawed in some ways. But let's talk about it. Let's get on to, well, first of all, the package, like the image of Shatter that we got here, and then the background. It's unfortunately, instead of being the end battle or something, it's just the little trailer park that they land in, which, I mean, it's accurate considering when Shatter was in the scene, she only transformed into this car, so I guess that's your visually, as far as robot mode goes, the most accurate. But still, I would have liked it to be a better background, because I don't know, out of all the backgrounds that we have for these figures, just the trailer park is a really boring one. But going over the actual vehicle mode here, it's really nice. I like the vehicle mode a lot. It's very sturdy. Everything is in place really nicely, and what's surprising about it is not a whole lot tabs in. I mean, all the shell, of course, all tabs in, but the arms are not tabbed into anything, yet they rest in a very organized manner, which is really nice, I must say. But overall, I think that the vehicle looks really good. I like how low the tires are. You do have some kibble that hangs below the car there, especially the feet. Wish that they could have at least, I mean, put a little hinge here so that at least this angled up. That would have made the world of difference. But unfortunately, they didn't. And then this is the car storing the guns as well. I'll show you how it looks without the guns though. But I do like the kind of shiny black. I like when you look in the window here, you do see some parts of the robot mode, but it's all very mechanical. This doesn't look bad at all, let me tell you. From the front here, you see a little bit more red inside. Wish that it was more of the mechanical pieces rather than red, but nonetheless, it's still not bad. The lights up top are sculpted nicely. I just wish that they were painted white at the front to make them actually look like lights. And then I do like the engine here at the front. I think that does look nice. And then the front of the car does look quite good as well. So this muscle car does look quite nice. Again, the cannons are just stored right here on the arms, so you can just take them off if you want. Let's see. And does that look any better? I mean, you reduce a little bit of the kibble underneath. However, instead of it being black, now it's turned into silver and red. So, you know, I don't know which one's better. It's kind of up to you. But it's nice that they have a way to store the weapons in a pretty discreet way on the vehicle mode, which is cool. But yeah, overall, I do like the vehicle a lot. I think that there's really not too many problems with it, just a bit of kibble. But overall, I think that it's a really solid vehicle mode. Alright, let's get on to the transformation of the Shatter. So of course you take off her guns to start with if you haven't done that already, and then I'll just start breaking up some of the arm pieces. Now the arm, I'm sure that the arms are going to pop off. That's probably my second highest complaint about this figure, is that the arms are on a ball joint, the shoulders, and the ball joint's just not very sturdy at all. Yep, there we go, already. So the arms fall off. I mean, to be honest, it would be a lot easier if you just take the arms off for transformation and then pop them back on at the end, and it's super easy to do that. So if you want to do that, feel free. Transforming it into the vehicle mode, I actually did do that just because it made it easy, and then I wouldn't have to worry about it popping off just constantly, because it is quite annoying. Oh my god, both sides. So you just want to get the arms up there. Pop it back on. I want it on so that you guys can kind of see how it looks with it on for transformation, but I might just end up having to take them off because they're bloody annoying, let me tell you. And then you want to just start breaking up some of the other parts, get the back piece off. This piece will fold up onto the roof a little bit more. It's on a pretty sturdy hinge though, so you do, there we go, have to move it some. You take the back piece and you flip it up, and then you could take the entire back thing and compact it even more. Then with the front, and it falls down. You know what, I'm going to leave the arms off just because they're going to pop off throughout this entire video if I don't, so I'm just going to take them off right now. Again, it makes it easier for transformation too, so if you want to do it as well. There we go. You want to get the... Now, there's a lot of just issues with some of the pieces. There's some quality control issues with this figure. I want to talk about it in robot mode, however, I'm having so many issues with the transformations. It's just, you gotta talk about it here. The arms, of course, pop off, and then these little panels, they're just on these little loops, so they can pop off pretty easily, too. They're not as bad as the arms, let me tell you, but they do still pop off occasionally, so that is just another thing to get annoyed about. You take this little piece, you just want to flip it up for now. Don't flip it all the way up, because we still need to push the head through, and the head just flips up like this, which is really cool. I like the way that you hide the engine and show the head is just by doing like a full flip on the whole middle section. I think that that is quite neat. And then with the arms, if you have them attached, you want to just move them out like this. And then with this straightened up, you could put this in. Let's see here. There we go. Just like that. Keep this up. Now the legs, very simple. You just want to move the feet down. Here you go. You can move the wheels out just a little bit, just so that you have more clearance to move the feet down, because they just come down like this, and you just kind of want to set them like this. You can have them extended a little bit more if you want, just depending on how you want it to look. I wish that this tabs into this a little bit better. It doesn't really. Like, there's this little tab here that's supposed to look like it's supposed to tab in, but it really doesn't, which is kind of just disappointing because it doesn't fit very well, and it just kind of leaves it awkward. So yeah, then you want to just rotate the tire down into the leg a little bit. It's on a hinge here and a hinge at the base, but the hinge towards the top of the wheel is very stiff, so you just want to like rotate that inside the leg. I actually like the way that that moves. I think that it's very cool. And then you can rotate the whole leg. And again, the knees are on a double hinge. However, the bottom hinge is a lot more stiff than the top one, so it's kind of strange that way. But yeah, you can untab it, move the leg down, push it in, rotate the wheel inside the leg, and then just swivel the entire bottom section of the leg, just like that. And then you have the legs transformed basically. These little side pieces, they're on hinges, so you can move them to the back, you can keep them to the side. It's really where you prefer it. It does seem to get in the way articulation wise no matter where you put it, but you do have options, of course. And then with the backpack piece, you just have a little slot here and a little tab there, and you want to just tab that in together right there. And then these can be rotated down, and it's kind of your preference if you want them out a little bit like wings, if you want them totally down, it's up to you. What I like about those though is that they kind of simulate at least some of the what is it, some of the jet mode versions of those, like the propellers from the jet that she transforms into, or the wing sections at least. They kind of simulate that, which is kind of nice. So with the arms, you can just pop the arms back on. Let's see, that's going to be this side. Sorry, I'm getting a call. There we go. Pop the arms back on if you took them off, and then just rotate it so of course it's facing to the front. And then with these little sections, you can just move them to the side, and then they collapse onto the shoulder. I kind of like the way that that transforms. I think it's pretty nice. It's a nice way to make it very clean. God, I hate these shoulders, I really do. All right, and there you basically have Shatter in her robot mode. If everything stays together. Excellent. So here she is. So in general, it's a nice figure. I have a lot of issues with it though, but I do have a lot of pluses, so that is good at least. But let's get into it. Just trying to see. here's probably my favorite combination as far as where you can put the panelings and everything like that. I think that this looks pretty nice. She does have a bit of kibble. As you can see, she has a nice size backpack that just hangs off of her. When you get her out of package, the backpack will be compressed kind of down to her legs. You want to bring it up and tab it in and everything. It looks weird when it's down to the legs. This actually looks a lot better than it does when you get it straight out of package. But as you can see, it hangs off the back quite a bit. I wish that they could have compacted it more. I mean, putting an extra hinge like in the middle there would have helped a lot. You could have at least pushed it down, but instead you do not have that, which is a shame. My biggest issue with this figure, I think the biggest issue I have with it is the face, because it has this like armored or look where it's, you know, like the helmet's down type of thing, which, you know, Bumblebee has and everything, but it just doesn't make any sense for Shatter, considering she never does that in the movie. Now, I've seen the movie like 5 times. I haven't watched the movie with this intent in mind of like looking for the face mask down or anything. I don't remember her doing this at all, and I am like 100% sure that she never does this in the movie. I think that there is concept art that does show it, but I don't think she ever actually does it in the movie, which just makes this thing super annoying, because like the sculpt itself is alright, like the body and everything it's you know, pretty recognizable as Shatter, but the thing that would have really tied it in and made it completely Shatter is an accurate head sculpt, and it's the easiest thing to do, because it's something that you don't have to worry about the head sculpt in transformation at all. So I don't understand why they didn't just do the head sculpt accurately. It doesn't make a lick of sense to me, and it is really disappointing. I just don't understand what the logic was behind that, unless like when they were designing this figure, the only thing that they had was like very early concept art. I don't think that that's true either, though, considering it's been several months since the movie's come out, so it's not like this is a figure that was released like before the movie came out or anything. So this was a figure that was not put in production the second that they had the Bumblebee stuff, because they obviously did Dropkick first and Bumblebee and everything like that. So I don't understand why the face sculpt is so inaccurate, and it looks terrible. It looks like a weird drone. I just hate it. It's terrible. It's super annoying. The rest of the figure is alright, though. The shoulders, the arms themselves, I actually like them. They're very compact, and they're very slim, which does give you some of the more feminine proportions that she has as a robot. So I do like that quite a bit, and again, like, I like the way that the shoulders transform. They transform in a pretty compact way, which looks pretty nice. And it's pretty accurate to the art on the box here, if you do look at it. Because this art is specifically Shatter as just the Mustang, she doesn't transform into a Mustang, does she? But muscle car. So I think that is pretty accurate. Since they lean so much into this being just like a solely muscle car sculpt, I wonder if they will do the same thing with Dropkick and give us another version of her with the jet as her alt mode, though, and with, of course, a new head sculpt that's like somewhat accurate. As far as the legs, I wish that these panels weren't on it. I wish that they at least folded. Like, I wish that there was a joint right here so you could just fold it down or something and then swing it to the back. That would make it a lot easier, a lot better, just, you know, a lot less obtrusive. But unfortunately, they're pretty obtrusive, and like if you try to move them out, they get hit right there on the back. They hit onto some of the pieces on the body. However, the big thing is that's not like the main issue with the articulation on the thighs. The thighs are just terribly sculpted. There's just not a lot of range there. You can go up very high, but you can hardly go out at all. It's like this. That's like as far out as it goes. So you can go up, which is fine, but you cannot go out at all, which is just super annoying. And it's just the way that the thing's cut. I don't understand it, especially since Shatter in the movie has very wide hips. So they should have made the pole go out even wider, and then it would give some more clearance and it would look more accurate. So again, it's just simple fixes would have made this thing a lot better. I do like some of the, you know, very shiny, glossy black. I think that does look nice. The feet look really good. I do like the look of them. We just wish that they had an ankle pivot, but they really don't. And then the knees, like, they're double hinge, but because of just the paneling and stuff, it really just goes 90 degrees. And then you have like a full hinge at the ankle, but again, no pivot. So In total, the robot mode in general, I think, is alright. It has some paneling issues, and it has some quality control issues, especially with the arms, because although when you are not messing with transformation, they stay on better, they feel loose, especially this side for me. They're okay, but they do feel loose, which is quite annoying, I will say. She does come with her guns, which, I don't know, she never, from what I remember, she doesn't transform her arm into a gun or anything, but I do remember her shooting a gun from her hand when she's running towards Bumblebee in the desert. Kind of the first shot that we ever have seen of Shatter and Dropkick was them running in the desert. That scene, she does use a gun in that one. So I don't know if she transforms her arm off camera and then shoot, and then it kind of looks more like this or something. I'm not sure. But overall, I do think it looks nice. It tabs on really nicely, and it looks like it's in addition to her arm. It's not your usual kind of weapons piece that looks a little ridiculous. This actually looks pretty decent. So as a whole, I think that this is it's a decent figure. It's a lot better than Dropkick, but it still has a lot of issues on its own, and it's just a shame because a lot of the Studio Series figures are really excellent, but they kind of dropped the ball on the Bumblebee ones. I don't know why. It's their first time doing them. I'm not sure, but just they're not great. The new Dropkick that's coming out looks better, and to be honest, I'd feel a whole lot better about this figure if the head sculpt was accurate. And unfortunately, it's something unrecognizable, which is terrible. I almost consider this more a drone from Age of Extinction than I do Shatter, with the main villain from Bumblebee. So overall, I'm a little disappointed by the figure, but it does have some good parts about it. I do like the way the torso transforms, and I like the kind of jet engines on the thighs. There's some good sculpting pieces on it, but there's some also just really easily fixed, if they knew what they were doing, issues with it as well. So let me know what you guys think of this new Transformers Studio Series Shatter figure. I'll definitely plan to get a scrap metal as soon as I find him, as well as Rampage. I'm very excited for that figure. The new Optimus Primes I'm looking forward to. I got to get Bone Crusher still. There's a lot on my list, so I will continue to do reviews if you guys like them. So let me know what you guys think of this, and thanks so much for watching.